Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hoops with Noops. Of course, I am Alex Noops Christensen, and I am brought to you by the fine folks at FTN, whether it be FTN Bets, FTN Fantasy, or FTN Data, which all will soon be under one big roof. The fine folks at FTN are doing great work. You can see down below, there's a code. You sign up, you get a nice discount for all the data, the tools, the content. Again, I assume you're subscribed to this channel. If not, be sure you do. A lot of great free stuff being handed out here. But again, you sign up for that, you get all that great stuff, plus access to the FTN Bets Discord, where there's a lot of extra picks, a lot of great conversations going on, just a wealth of information, well worth your time. So be sure to sign up. And of course, we're here to talk a little NBA basketball, and you might be confused. It's the All-Star break. There's no NBA basketball tonight. Noops, it's Friday. Well, we have to watch college basketball or hockey, God forbid, something else. I do like hockey, actually. It's the college basketball I'm not a fan of. I stick to professionals. But the All-Star game is great. It's a huge weekend. We have an event starting tonight, Friday. I love All-Star Saturday. We'll talk about each of the events there. The skills challenge, three-point contest, the dunk contest. It's great. And then the All-Star game itself, a lot of fun. So a lot to get through. Again, want to cover every event that we've got, give you kind of a breakdown of what's happening, who's going to be there, and who I think is going to win. I've found a bet that I like in every contest. So a lot to get through here, but again, just a reminder, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Give us a thumbs up. And as always, if you have any questions while I'm going through here, put them below in a comment. I'll be sure to get back to them. And of course, there'll be a written edition of Hoops with Noops if you'd like to read through all this again after watching. So let's get started. The very first event is tonight, Friday night, that is. We have the Rising Stars Tournament, which I'll show you here some of the rosters. The Rising Stars Tournament, we've got four teams here. We've picked a captain for each team. We've got Paul Gasol, Tamika Catchings, Jalen Rose, and Detlef Shrimp. You can see the players there for each team on the screen. Some really good rosters. And this event is a replacement basically of the rookie versus sophomore game you might be familiar with from years ago. The NBA just looking for a way to introduce its young stars. These are the best new players in the NBA. And this year, again, rookies, second-year players, and there's a team of G League players. And you look at each roster, and I think it becomes pretty clear which team is the best. I mean, Detlef Shrimp, thank you for taking the G League team, but those guys are going to be wildly overmatched in every single game. And what we have here is it's two games basically. In the first game here, Team Powell plays Team Detlef, Team Tamika plays Team Jalen. The winner of those games goes into the championship. Team Powell's a pretty big favorite here over Team Detlef, and it makes sense. Again, you look at Team Powell, you've got Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Podziemski, Jabari Smith, Brandon Miller, Kason Wallace, Jaime Jaquez, and Bilal Coulibaly. You'd like a better point guard, but the other rosters, again, not very strong at that position. You've got a great backcourt here with Wembanyama, Jabari Smith, and Brandon Miller, and the other four great guards. They fit together nicely. This is the most talented team. They deserve to be big favorites over Team Detlef. And the other game, a pretty close matchup here. I kind of like Team Tamika. I think Banchero is going to play really well in this format. Keegan Murray is really good, but Team Jalen just maybe has a little bit more talent here. I think, again, Team Tamika can be competitive, but Jalen Whitchet, Holmgren here. Shaden Sharp's a really nice player. Benedict Mathurin, again, a pretty even game. It's really kind of short here. What I do know is either of these teams coming out, I think, just gets smoked by Team Powell. That team is so stinking good, and that's something to bet on to win the tournament here. Team Powell is plus 120 from our friends here at DraftKings. Again, the best team in talent. They've got the easiest game here, so they are the most likely team to make it into the championship game. They're about minus 350 in that first game. I expect them to be at least minus 250 or better in the championship game, and if you put those two prices together, you're looking at a parlay of about minus 125. So instead of waiting to do that, let's just grab this number now, plus 120, a nice little edge for us. Again, I've got the best team. With the easiest path to the championship game. Should be fun. Again, a quick tournament on Friday night. We'll take Team Powell again to win the Rising Stars Challenge. Now, we get on to the contest on Saturday night, and we will start here with the Skills Challenge. The Skills Challenge is really fun. You've got three teams. Indiana hosts the All-Star game this year, so of course we have a team of Pacers. You see there Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, or maybe Matherin. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look that up. And Miles Turner representing Team Pacers. Again, the host of the All-Star game. We've got the team top picks. These are all former #1 draft picks. Paolo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, and Victor Wembanyama all playing together. And then the final team All-Stars. 3 players all happen to be from the Eastern Conference here. Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey, and Trae Young. And this is a really fun event. We've got 3 rounds of competitions. The first one is a relay race. Basically, each player has to go through an obstacle course that involves making passes into moving targets, dribbling around pylons, making a three-pointer, and then coming all the way back down to the other end of the court to make a dunk, a layup, a jump shot if you really even want to. Each player goes. They time the team. The team with the best time to complete the obstacle course as a group wins that contest. The second contest is a passing event where they put a bunch of moving targets and you get different amount of points for going into each target. You have to throw a bounce pass, a chest pass, or an overhead pass, depending on where you are. And players have to kind of move around. All 3 of them are doing the passes at once. So you have a time there. You go through, make as many passes as you can. The team with the best score wins that round. The final round is a team shooting round. And if you've ever done a hotspot competition, this will look familiar. They basically have 5 spots on the floor. There's a different amount of points where the closer you are, the less points, the further away you are, the more points. And the team, as 3 players, take turns helping rebound for each other, shoot for each other to try to maximize what's going on. So really interesting contest. Whoever has the most points at the end of those 3 wins. If there is a tie, we basically go to a half-court shoot-off where one team shoots half-court shots until they make one. The next team then has that much time to try to make one themselves. So a really fun event. I like watching this. This is really great. It's interesting to try to handicap. What you want is a team of guys that look that we think are kind of smart, that understand the game theory here, because there's a lot of things to consider. What passes do you make? How do you get organized for that passing event? How do you get organized for the shooting event? What parts of the floor are you going to try to attack? It's really interesting. So, a cohesive team, say like the Pacers guys, are pretty interesting. But another big thing here is 3-point shooting. And that relay, every player has to hit a 3-point shot. And teams with good 3-point shooters, or at least 1 or 2 guys that aren't great 3-point shooters, could struggle. You look at those first teams again, Team Pacers and team top picks. Wembanyama and Miles Turner are kind of the trouble there. They're centers. They're going to be a little bit slower running through some of these exercises, which hurts the time. They're both decent 3-point shooters, but not nearly as good at 3-point shooters as everyone else in the contest. So I kind of lightly cross those 2 teams off. I look at Team All-Star, all guards, really fast and athletic. I guess Barnes more of a forward, but again, great athletes. The worst 3-point shooter of that group is Barnes, who still hits at 35% at a pretty decent usage rate there. I look at this. I think they're going to have a great chance to win all 3 rounds. I think they have advantage over the other teams, and all 3 of these guys are really determined, hardworking players that I think will get together, really try to work through these. And again, that's totally speculation. I have no idea who's planning, who knows, who's going to get ready and organize, how the shooting and passing is going to go. But I know that Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey, and Trae Young are all really smart players that have worked hard. I definitely expect them to get together and have some sort of good strategy here. So that's the team I'm backing. Give me Team All-Stars here. They're plus 180 to win here. Team Top Picks is the favorite, which, again, I find odd. I wonder if it's just a little too much excitement over Team having Wembanyama. Again, really great player, super skilled. I think he'll be great in the shooting and the passing, but in that relay, unless he makes that first 3-pointer, he's really going to struggle, even just to get up and down the court as fast as some of these other guys. So give me Team All-Stars, plus 180 to win the the Kia Skills Challenge. We already did the Rising Stars. Next up is my favorite event in the entire thing, the 3-point shootout. I love this. This is one of my favorite events in any sports. I get really excited to watch this every year. As I'm sure you might be familiar by now, they set up racks around the 3-point line. 5 balls in each rack. There's a money ball worth 2. The regular balls are worth 1. And we now have one of the 5 racks. Each player gets to choose a spot. It's all money balls. We also have 2 deeper shots. The folks at Starry sponsor this and basically put 2 balls in between the second and third and fourth racks for a longer 3-point shot that's worth 3 points. And Really interesting contest. Number one, trying to figure out where to put your money ball rack. Number two, this is really difficult physically. These players have 70 seconds to shoot the ball 27 times. That's about 2.5 seconds per shot. That's really can be tough on guys, especially for smaller players that have to jump. That's a big exertion here. And if you look back historically, yes, we've had great shooters like Damian Lillard and Steph Curry who are jump shooters win, but they're generally bigger players. Guys like Karl Anthony Towns, guys like Joe Harris do well in these competitions because they have more of a set shot. They don't have to jump, and it's just less physically burdening as you're getting through all these shots. It's a really fun event. Again, we've got 2 rounds. We have a round. Everybody goes once. The 3 best scores there advance to the final. The best score in that final round is your champion. And there are 2 players that I like here. Again, I'm looking for big guys who have set shots more. And again, everybody kind of jumps, but they're not making a high jump. It's not a big effort. And I want guys that are better catch and shoot 3-point shooters. Guys that are better in the pull up are used to having some dribbles, used to being in rhythm when they pull up and shoot. Whereas catch and shoot guys tend to be better pulling the balls off the rack and not having, kind of that moment and that momentum really in their feet as they shoot. So give me the 2 big guys. Karl Anthony Towns has won this event already. He's plus 700. Lauri Markkanen, one of the better 3-point shooters in the league, puts up a big volume here, is plus 800. I think there's a great chance we get at least one of these guys into the final round, if not both. I don't understand. These are 2 of the biggest prices in the market. Your favorites are the guards, guys like Halliburton, Lillard, Brunson, Trae Young, and Malik Beasley. They're all much higher here, even Donovan Mitchell. And again, based on what I know about this contest and what we've seen historically, I think that's wrong. So give me the bigs. Again, Karl Anthony Towns and Lauri Markkanen there. They're plus 700, plus 800 from our friends over there at Caesars to win the 3-point contest. Really a lot of fun. And we have a special version of the 3-point contest this year. No graphic for this one, but Steph Curry, if you haven't heard, is going to be doing a one-on-one 3-point contest with Sabrina Ionescu. And if you don't know, Sabrina Ionescu, a really great WNBA player, has the record for most points scored in a 3-point contest round. She scored 37 of 40 possible points in the 2023 WNBA game, All-Star game, the final round of the 3-point contest there. And afterwards, challenged Steph Curry to a 3-point contest. Curry challenged her again late in January, and here we are. It's a great event. This will be for charity. Every point scored means a $1,000 donation from State Farm to the NBA Foundation. Should be really great, a fun opportunity, but who's going to win? You think about it, Steph Curry, this is not the first time he's done a charity contest at the All-Star game. You might remember in 2017, there was an event where they had players shoot threes to raise money, and then they brought Curry out on the court to shoot a half-court shot, and if he made it, would have triggered a $500,000 donation. Curry walked onto the court in jeans and a hoodie and claimed pretty confidently he'd only need 3 attempts to make the half-court shot. He took about 9 chucks and did not make any of them. Had to be bailed out. They brought out Craig Sager's son. The donation was to go to the Craig Sager Foundation. Craig Sager's young son, picked up by Shaq, dunks the ball, and that is good enough for $500,000. Now, does that mean Curry is going to be nervous and worried that he's going to fail again, or does it mean he's really tight and focused? I don't know, but what I do know is all the pressure is on Steph Curry. He's going to be shooting with an NBA ball from the NBA 3-point line. Ionescu doesn't have to. She gets to shoot from her normal conditions. WNBA ball, the WNBA 3-point line. Ionescu, it looks like based on her social media, she's been practicing for this, is ready to go. And again, has nothing to lose here. She's the underdog. If she wins here, it'll be the talk of the town. Everybody will be talking about it and be very excited. It'll be a great moment for the WNBA. But Curry, again, does not have much to win here. He's expected to win, and if he fails, it's going to be tough. So I think with all the pressure on Curry, give me Ionescu. I like this. Plus 160 here. It's a really small variance event too, right? It's just one round, just 27 shots. Anything is possible here. That's generally a great environment to take underdogs, and that's what I think makes the most sense here. So give me Ionescu in the special 3-point contest here. Now let's get to the final event on Saturday night, an event that some people have made fun of, but I love. I think the dunk contest is great. I know some years are better than others. I know we could use more star players, but the creativity, the athleticism is excellent, and it's just so much fun every year. Mac McClung won last year, did some really, really great stuff, and he is the favorite here. He's minus 190 to win the contest. Makes all the sense in the world. he is in the NBA because of his dunks. That's how he became famous as a YouTube dunker, is a G League player, and gets an NBA contract basically for the All-Star game every year. I'm sorry, last year and again this year, probably next year, I would think, just for this contest. Only 6'2", so everything he does looks really exciting because it takes just such an explosive jump to get up there. But I can't back somebody at minus 190 to win this contest. He probably deserves to be a favorite. That's a huge number. A couple of the other guys here, with all due respect to Jacob Toppin, all I knew about him before today basically was that he's Obi Toppin's younger brother. Obi Toppin won this dunk contest in 2022. Toppin, a nice athlete, but going back through and looking at some of his highlights, I don't really see too many inspiring dunks here. I haven't seen too much footage of him talking about the dunk contest, being excited. So I'm worried again that he might not have anything creative and ready to go, and just seemed uninspiring. So not going to be backing him. Jaime Jaquez Jr., great basketball player, having a fantastic rookie year. We've seen some good dunks from him, but not as explosive an athlete. But as talked about, he's got a couple tricks up his sleeve. He's got some creative stuff, and that's always fun. But it's a lot of dunks. You have to have 2 dunks in the first round, 2 dunks in the finals if you make it. To have 4 really good dunks is tough. And I wonder again if he's focused a little too much on the 1 or 2 specials and not the whole thing. That leaves us with Jaylen Brown, who has talked publicly about always wishing there were more star players in this contest and wanting to do it. And he's going to be the guy to lead all-stars, to lead some of the best players in the NBA back into this contest. Incredible athlete, one of the best in-game dunkers in the NBA, pretty quietly for the Celtics, but you see him in the highlights every night. He seems motivated. He seems locked in. I think this is a really nice bet. Again, McClung is minus 190, so we get plus 420 here for Jaylen Brown. Pretty close. Again, Jaquez around plus 450, Toppin around plus 500, depending on where you look. I think Brown is the better athlete of the other 3, again, besides McClung. That's basically what I'm looking for. I can't bet him. So I like Brown versus Jaquez and Toppin in athleticism. His focus seems to be there. I think there's a great chance he makes it to the final round. And then anything's possible. We've got 2 dunks. Who know what McClung can do? Again, maybe Brown's got something himself. So at plus 420, I think we've got a really nice chance here. Give me Jaylen Brown to win the dunk contest at plus 420. And then finally, the All-Star game itself. Let's take a quick look here at the rosters. I'll pull this down quickly so you can see Devin Booker there. We're back to West versus East. Last handful of seasons, we had captains for each team. It was generally Kevin Durant and LeBron James. They would pick players from the All-Star pool. But going back to the classic conference versus conference setup, you can see here the initial rosters that were chosen. Couple injuries, though. Joel Embiid and Julius Randle are not going to be there for the Eastern Conference. Trae Young and Scotty Barnes replace them. And I just look up and down these rosters. I think the West has a much better team. Their starters look better. Their bench is better. And to think about it maybe another way, there's a handful of guys, with all due respect, that are Eastern Conference All-Stars that would not make the Western Conference team, in my opinion. Paolo Banchero, Trae Young, Scotty Barnes, and Tyrese Maxey. That's 4 guys on the Eastern Conference team that I don't think, again, would have made the Western Conference team if that's what they were asked to do. So just a better team overall. I like the star power here. I think things fit together better. I know there's not much defense played, but the bigs on here on the Western Conference team should be able to do whatever they want, especially without a beat on the floor. So give me the West here. I know it's 3 points spread. It's the All-Star game. Obviously, it's tough to handicap this sort of thing. The game itself has a total of 364 points, which is 91 plus points per quarter. It's just nuts. So I like the West here. I think they're the better team. I think it's going to be a great game. But again, give me the West. And it's tough for me to say that as a Sixers fan, as an Eastern Conference guy. But yeah, I'll lay the 3 points with the Western Conference. So that's what we've got here for the All-Star game. Again, quickly here, I will run through the bets that I like in each event. And again, starting with the Rising Stars tournament, give me Team Pal, plus 120 there in the 4-team tournament of rookies, second-year guys, and G Leaguers. In the Skills Challenge, I like Team All-Stars. So Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, and Scotty Barnes to win that contest. Always a lot of fun. In the 3-point shootout, as I said, give me the bigs. Karl Anthony Towns and Lauri Markkanen in there at some nice numbers. In the Curry versus Ionescu shootout, again, just that 1-round 3-point contest for charity. Give me the girl, the WNBA star, Sabrina Ionescu. Really like her chances there. Should do well. And in the slam dunk contest, Jaylen Brown, again, plus 420 there. Should be really exciting. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Again, make sure you sign up for all the great stuff at FTN. It is the All-Star break, so there won't be a video version of Hoops with Noops until next Friday. But There will be a written version on Monday. Going to be working up an article about team futures, kind of check in on where we are and see if we can find some value in those markets. So keep an eye out for that. Really appreciate all the support. Again, any questions or comments, I would love down below in the comments section. I'll be sure to get back to you. Again, see you on Monday in written form. See you on Friday when we finally have some NBA basketball to handicap. Best of luck to us until then.